There you go. Screenshot. Yeah, it's $5. I'm telling you, man, it's possible. This time around, like I'm telling you, like it's possible. $5.56 is possible for Hex, for sure.
Mm.
But obviously, the reason that I don't say something crazy, all right, like you can go to $25, which maybe you can, is just it takes more capital and more money, and then there's
And
downward
time.
selling pressure and time. It takes, and there's a like imagine if you're the lucky few in here who bought. Okay, fuck it, let's have some fun. Let's have a little fun right now.
I think I know
All
where
right.
you're going with this Imagine story in it, and I think we can. I'll add something onto it. Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm caveat that. I'm just telling you, like, now this is like what this is basically moon math here. So obviously, be careful. Like, I'm just telling you, but like, let's just say, all right. So there's a hex right here. Some guy who just like, let's say, I'm gonna buy $1,000 a hex today, right? We're buying it at 4 cents. They got $24,000. I mean, 24,000 hex for $1,000 basically. Okay. Now let's just say that the price. Let's see, one day the price can actually be $5.55, right? So $5.56 times 24,035 hex would pretty much mean that you would have that $1,000 now became about $133,634.
Mm.
Obviously, that's amazing. I mean, and that would be like victory, you guys. I'd be like, we're out here, you guys. We're making money, but this happened to a lot of people in Hex and for a lot of other cryptocurrencies. But it takes time, as well as we may not get that $5.55. We may only get $2, a dollar and some change because of the fundamentals changing of like because more tokens means buying pressure is now kind of split in a way, and we may not get yeah.
It's kind of a similar move to Cardano, like what
Right,
it made in the last run.
Yeah, because it's what ended up happening with the Cardano situation too is like you kind of only had one place to funnel cash, which is ADA. When it actually has this whole ecosystem up and running, it can still do these crazy pumps, but more money is going to be pulled in other coins within the ecosystem. So it's the law of big numbers. Even though like Richard talks about the liquidity pools, over time the liquidity pools, like Hex is always going to have a smaller liquidity pool than the average coin of its size on purpose in order to cause like price volatility so you can have big up and big down. But the bigger and bigger the community gets and there's more people, that average liquidity pool is going to get larger. So it does take even for Hex over time, it's going to take more capital to pump it to those crazy levels, but then it can maintain these prices as well. So maybe we do get to a $2-3 price and then Hex bottoms out at like 45 cents. And we're like, fuck, we're so wrecked right now. Oh my God, 45 cents when it's at 4.1 cents and you're sitting on a 10X over time. So that's kind of like DCC spin like little baby right now. But yeah, but that's not outlandish because but the thing is that I do have to think is like this can it's not a 0% chance that this can happen, but at the same time, you can't count on like, Miguel, we're gonna get that $5, bro. I'm only selling at $5, $5 or bust, $5 or bust, and that's you get into big trouble, right? So we have to always move how everything is moving, right? So if just fundamentally something just happens with the Hex because of the whole added ecosystem, there's now 6 coins plus the rest of the ecosystem, money might start pooling more in other coins at certain points of time, and then the money doesn't pool as much into Hex as it does in the future. We don't know how it's going to work out, but me and Charlie will always be the first people to tell you that we're starting to see this pattern now that like, damn, the pumps on Hex might be smaller now, but more sustained. So it might be like Hex pumps to 20 cents. I mean, as an example, sorry, let's just say like Hex pumps to 80 cents and then its dip might only be 40 cents. So it might Hex could possibly almost like just do 50% corrections instead of 80% corrections, unless we have a big macro kind of like event where like everything goes down,
Yeah, and it is interesting when, Richard Heart and the Hex community show like, Hex's growth over time versus, the early days of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Doesn't mean it's going to end up in the exact same scenario or not. But it's just something to kind of be like, okay, there's kind of like a little bit of a path in terms of like what has been blazed in crypto thus far. And the other part of the equation, right, is like, if you look at the early days of Hex until now, right, the gains have been substantial. and looking over at what's happening with Pulse Chain, Pulse X,
Right.
and you know, the main ecosystem coins there on Pulse Chain, right? I mean,